Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. But I have a few words. So, Akula means talk in Ciluba, a language from DR Congo. So, let's talk for a moment, Akula, if you will. Why do we speak the languages we do? Either because we grew up speaking them, or because life demanded we learn them. Or if you're my parents, you just like learning languages. Anyway, when I got married, I knew Africans had different marriage traditions than my own, and that her family spoke mostly French. So I spent months with Duolingo preparing to meet them. But when I finally encountered her family, I discovered that they would switch between 3 and 5 different languages, pulling words and phrases from each to capture the exact meaning that they wanted. At that point, my efforts to learn French felt insufficient. But they taught me something profound about language. Language isn't just to communicate, it shapes the way we see the world. Europeans shape the world through their languages, often through slavery and violence. But tonight is not about division, it's about connection. In different parts of Africa, names tell you which day of the week you were born. In China, knowing your birth year animal reveals your age and everyone else's age around you. Before colonizers disrupted Africa, ancient kingdoms spread across vast territories, and family names could place you within 100 square miles. When I married Diane, I took her father's name as my middle name, joining that tradition. Learning a language without learning a culture is like studying Latin. You can see the ruins of what was built, but it's not alive. I was born into a culture that wants to categorize everything, where mystery is a challenge. Living in West Africa nearly a decade ago, a gentleman I'd gotten to know arrived one day with a beautiful woman and said, "This is my daughter." Looking at them and seeing the laughter in their eyes and maybe a 6-year age difference, I realized something. I said, "I'm going to assume that you don't distinguish between daughter and niece." The smile I got was immediate. I had passed the test. In that culture, I never heard words cousin, niece, nephew, only mommy, daughter, sister, auntie, brother, uncle, daddy. By making everything one step of relativity, everything becomes closer. In South Africa, there is a beautiful word, Ubuntu. I am because we are. I lived in Cameroon. There was a phrase, Ashia. They told me it meant have courage. But after living there, I noticed that it was said when someone carrying something heavy, when you hurt yourself, when you lost a parent. Ashia means, I see your pain, you are not alone, and we are together. It says this with empathy, without false pity or false understanding. To those newly arrived in this country, Ashia, if you are struggling to find your voice in a new language, have your doctors speak to us. Have your schools speak to us. Have your caseworkers speak to us. Akula, talk. We are together. This is the power of Ubuntu, not division, but diversity, not inclusion, but unity. Don't require a woman to make do in her 5th language. Let her speak her mother tongue. At Akula Interpreting and Translation LLC, we are here to empower people by giving them a voice. But without further ado, let me introduce the founder and CEO of Akula, my wife and dearest love, Diane Mbombo Tite.